Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. As we approach the end of the year, many of us are doing what we've always done or what we've been taught to do: planning, setting goals, making resolutions, sharpening strategies, getting ready for what's next. And that can be helpful, but it can also distract us from something far more important. I was reflecting back this week, a little over 10 years ago. I was reading a talk by Dieter Uchtdorf. I just reread it, where he reflected on what he had learned from sitting with people near the end of their lives. Around that same time, I was keeping a daily diary, and every single entry began with the same question: how can I be the answer to someone's prayer today? Now, I remember writing then how deeply I felt about his talk and how it affected me. And now, more than 10 years later, I can say this candidly. Somewhere along the way, some of my priorities have slipped. Not because I stopped caring, but because I got busy. And that's what makes this reflection even more relevant today. What he observed, and what many of us eventually discover, is that the deepest regrets are rarely about money, titles, or unfinished to-do lists. They're quieter than that. They're more human. He said the most common regrets sound like this: I wish I'd spent more time with the people I love. I wish I had been kinder at home, at work, and even to strangers. I wish I hadn't waited so long to say what mattered. You see, very few people regret what they didn't achieve. Many regret who they didn't show up for. And here's the part that matters, especially right now. You see, regret doesn't come from bad intentions. It comes from postponement. Regret doesn't come from bad intentions. It comes from postponement. I'll slow down later. I'll be more present when things calm down. I'll make time when this season passes. But seasons don't pass on their own. They pass because we choose differently in the now. And across faith traditions, Christian, Jewish, and beyond, there is a shared wisdom. Time is sacred. Presence is sacred. And relationships are sacred. Not someday, now. So as you think about the coming year, here's a different invitation. Before you plan what you want to do next year, pause and ask what you don't want to regret next year. Because the most meaningful resolutions aren't about doing more. They're about loving better. So a simple challenge for all of us. Let's start right now. If we just asked ourselves once a day, who would matter most if this year were my last? And how can I show up for them today? Who would matter most if this year were my last? And how can I show up for them today? No guilt, no pressure, just awareness. Perhaps followed by one small intentional choice. Maybe it's a call, a walk, a thank you, maybe an unhurried conversation. Because those are the moments we never forget. Now, one final thought. The future doesn't judge us by our plans. It remembers us by our presence. Make life meaningful. Let's go big. Let's be in gratitude. Have a meaningful week. Make it a meaningful week. I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.